Yeah, 100%. I know earlier on in like VR games,
Mm,
how they would do that is they would actually pull you out of the experience
mm.
and put you in front of a cinema screen style and play a cutscene on that.
Right,
And then they
right.
would reinsert you back into the game. And that was never an option for us. It was just strictly like world building. We want like notes you could find, or yeah, for, in this case, it's yeah, just information on the tablet.
Mhm.
And then we were just like, oh, well, what if you can't be bothered reading it? So, we created the actual audio dialogue for it, so you could just like push the button, throw it, and walk away, and still be talking.
I do think there's like an aspect of like limitation breeds creativity there where because you're in VR, you have certain limitations on what you can do, right? Like, yeah, you can put someone in front of a cinema screen, but like, it just unless you have a contextual reason for why that's going to happen, and I'm sure you could build a game around where it's like, okay, hey, you're in a VR game, right? And it's like, okay, the lore is outside of the VR game. Like, there's like actually you could do that, and it would make sense if you wanted to do it in a good way. But if it's just like if that's just happening for no reason, it's always gonna feel like something is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole point of VR is to immerse you in what you're doing, to then strip that back and then fully show them that, yeah, no, you are still just playing a game. You might as well have just made it on a flat screen monitor, you know? Like, you take away the purpose of what you've done. So, yeah, like, we knew that we wanted to have the lore in there, and we've got a couple different methods of it. Like, there's the tablets you can pick up, but there's also a couple screens that have little, like, logs and stuff from the past history of the ship. And yeah, like both of those were just like, I think I'd played Fallout while we were sort of developing it, or like closely before, and like playing through that, I would always listen to like the little logs as soon as I'd find them, or like I'd look through all the like computer terminals and like look at the different stuff. Same with Alien Isolation, which is probably a closer fit for our game, where it's like in that you can find, like, oh, you got to go into this doctor's office and, get his key card. And if you get the key card, you can like log into his computer if you want. And on the computer, you find like he's talking about, oh my God, there's this thing, it's crawling around the ship, blah, blah, blah. And you like find his body. Like stuff like that. Like we don't have any dead bodies or anything, but like it's a thing of it adds to the world and makes it feel more lived in a way that's more believable than just like, if you're going to spend all your time by yourself on this ship, which is the whole point, where it's like you're meant to feel like the isolation and like the fear of space and just being alone. Like you got to amplify that somehow. And yeah, we found that like having little bits of world history that showed other people were here heightens that really well.
So was a lot of that stuff there in last year's demo, or is that a lot of new stuff?
No.
Like it was all planned. But yeah, none of it was there, which is one of the biggest things of feedback that we got last year, was that no one was really feeling the atmosphere.
Right.
And it was like interesting because before that people were, but in the full game, like prior to where you're at, there's a probably like 15 minutes worth of gameplay which is set before the incident. So you get to see that there's other people on the ship and you get a sense for like what it was before. And then you go back to sleep, wake up, and shit's hit the fan.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so this is what's wrong now. Like stuff's changed. This is clearly different. But because we have to, trying to find a good short spot to like make a demo out of for this story game, it's like we chopped it to this section and then lost the starting bit that gives you the context to make this creepy. But then in doing that, it's like, okay, well, we can still keep all of the stuff that we're adding in here for the full game and it'll just add to it more. But yeah, it like goes to show that like, okay, yeah, well, stuff here, you lose the context, we got to reinsert the context, and thus this is evidence of life and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that is a big problem I do see with demos for story-heavy games, because if you you can take the opening segment and then not have any of your interesting mechanics yet. You can take the middle segment and have no context for what is no context for what is happening, but you can still show things off. Or you can make some sort of, custom vertical slice that introduces lore, introduces some mechanics, but it is like a whole different thing you then have to develop outside of your regular sort of development cycle. And if you're doing a demo for like let's say you have a game that's like a Mega Man clone, right? Like making a demo for that's a really easy thing to do because from the start it's clear what the game is. But when your focus is on world building, how did you decide that this was the segment you went with? Was it just had things you wanted to show off? Like what was the process there?
Initially, the whole dawning of the idea and like the centralization of this is the part of the game that we want to show came from the fact that we wanted to build a vertical slice of the game to then go and pitch to publishers and funding and all that sort of stuff, which included that starting sort of section. It was after we got knocked back from all of that stuff that then we decided, okay, well, we can't afford to make this thing really big, but we still want to show off the work that we've done. And as such, we had to like condense what we had and just pick a good spot where we can introduce the key mechanics and we're still using those key mechanics and like show them in a way that doesn't feel forced. And yeah, we just happened to work out that, okay, well, all the stuff that we're doing in the starter room in the full game, we're technically doing in this room now. So we can just insert it here, sort of thing, and it'll just work. And like it became a quick fix to a big problem of like, okay, well, we can't show the extra starting bit now because that'll be over half the damn game in this little demo. But yeah, so we've had to like chop it into this middle section. Whereas initially, full demo bit with that initial 15 minutes would have been only like, a quarter or a third of what the game was meant to be. But because we don't get all that extra stuff at the end now, it's like finding that little slice of what can we show that gives enough of a inkling to what this is without completely, giving everything away.